Hey, hello. I'm Luke Halford, and this is episode 1 of my Creating a Character workshop.
Okay, so in our first episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit about themes and worlds. Before we even get to creating a character, what are we creating it for? Where is it going? And what is it doing? Is our character living in a made-up world? A real world? Is it about is the character living in a super world? Has it got superheroes going around? Is our character from a western? Is it like a gunslinger from the west, or is it a spaceman or spacewoman? Or is it an alien? Is it not even in the world? Not on Earth? Where are we going with this character? So that's some of the things we need to think about straight off the bat. So if you are creating your character, maybe you want to come across and you want to, on the side of your page or wherever you're starting to think about your character, think about where you want your character to be from. Is it from Gola? Could your character be your next door neighbor or an imaginary next door neighbor? Is your character you? And maybe is what's this character going to be doing? Is it going to be a superpowered person? Is it going to be a sheriff? A deputy? Is it going to have powers? Turn into a monster? What's your character going to do? So maybe I'm going to make a... What type of character am I going to make? Maybe my character is from space. But it also is a western. So it's going to be a space sheriff. Space sheriff. So being a space sheriff, maybe it lives... My character might be a she. She space sheriff. She lives on a rocket. Maybe she lives on a rocket with her pet space rabbit. But yeah, so think about who is your character? They got superpowers? Where do they live? And then how does that affect how they live? So when I'm going to design this character, I'm just going to put some random shapes here. This is going to be my head. This is going to be my body. I'm going to give her 2 arms and 2 legs. And maybe if she's an alien, she doesn't need to have 2 legs. 2 arms, 2 legs. Maybe she could have more, maybe she could have less. But I'm going to draw my character like this, and then I'm going to give her a smile, maybe a nose, ears, and then she needs to have space, sheriff, incorporated into how she is designed. So what does someone in space wear? So someone in space is probably going to be, if they're going to be outside in space, they're probably going to need some sort of way to breathe. So Does our character wear a mask to breathe in space? Does she perhaps have a mask covering up her mouth and nose so she can breathe in space? Maybe she has a dome around her head so she can breathe. And I'm going to give her some hair very quickly. And then what does she wear down here? Maybe she's got like a little thing of buttons on her chest. Maybe she's got different vital signs there, and she wears a big space suit. And then once she's got a spacesuit on, that's a pretty good way of surviving in outer space. And since she's got a spacesuit on now, that's kind of the space element of our character. That's started. We've at least got the idea of how she would survive. And now, how do we make her a sheriff? Does she wear the hat inside or outside her bubble? Maybe we put the big old hat, the cowboy hat, on top of there, and maybe she's got a pistol. Maybe she's got a pistol so she can look after the town and keep everyone safe and fight crime. And what makes a sheriff is make sure she's got a badge. A badge to tell everyone she's the sheriff. What else might she have? Maybe she has a small cloak. Little cape cloak thing. Keeps her warm if she's ever outside late at night, and maybe she's got the protective bits. Whenever she's riding her horse, she's got this protective stuff in between her legs so she doesn't get bruised riding on her horse. And maybe she's got those fancy shoes, but we've got to make them boots. So we're going to give her, let me move this over. Maybe she's got space boots, but maybe she's got the spiked bits on the back of the boots. And this is just an idea. So when we're making ideas, don't worry about how sketchy it looks. Maybe we've got lines going everywhere. Maybe you can change things later and make her a little bit thinner. It looks like she's jumping in the air. And maybe give her another hand. When we're making ideas for our characters, we don't care how sketchy or crazy or how much we need to freshen it up. We're just trying to get ideas down. And that's a big thing with all character creation, is there's going to be multiple plans. Come up with a plan, put it to the side, learn from what you like from it and what you don't like from it. So far, I like the sheriff badge. I reckon that's a good thing. I like this cape. That works well. And these boots, maybe I could work on these boots a little bit, make them a little bit better. I think maybe there's a way that we could merge the bubble and the hat to make it look more space-like. And if she's travelling around with a space bubble around her head and then a hat on top, what if her hat falls off? She's probably not going to even be able to feel it fall off. She doesn't feel everything through her bubble, so maybe she needs to change that. And maybe this mask doesn't really need to be there anymore now that we've got a space bubble around her head. And I like the spacesuit. Maybe we could add some better parts to it, and maybe we'll look at how we can make this spacesuit more personalized to her in the next episode when we talk more about our character and who they are and what they do. So when we're talking about things in the world, let's try and figure out maybe this space bubble around her head. Maybe it has a specific shape to it. So this is all still bubble. Or maybe, and then our character's head goes in here on the inside. Yeah, maybe there's all sorts of different things we could do. Maybe we can make this star. This star, maybe because we're in outer space, the sheriff star isn't going to be a normal star. Maybe it's going to be more... This badge, maybe it's going to have like a ring around it. Kind of like Saturn? Saturn, the one with the ring around it? I think so. I'm going to add that around it, and that's going to make it a bit more space-like. Just want to help the themes and help the make it seem like it's part. Our characters are part of the world that it's in. And maybe what's our space rabbit look like? Maybe the space rabbit is an alien, so let's give our space rabbit eyes on the end of stalks, kind of like a bug. Give it its teeth. Give it a weird old body. Rabbit legs. Kind of looking more like a frog, isn't it now? Whoops. Oh well, it's just an idea. Put an idea down and let it happen. Let's give it a bunny ears. There we go, you get a little space pet. So, for the exercise for this episode, I want you to come up with themes for your world and think of, how we've got our space suit. I want you to come up with, if it's in the Wild West, if your character's in the Wild West, maybe 5 different roles that it could have in the Wild West. Maybe it's a bandit. Maybe it's the sheriff. Maybe it's a cowboy. Maybe it herds sheep and cattle, and maybe it's a banker. Maybe they work at the bank. Who is your character, and how do they fit into the world that you've created, or you haven't created yet? And once you've got that, then you've thought a lot about your themes and your world, and now you can start thinking about who your character is, and that's where we'll pick back up next episode. Who is your character? Episode 2. So, that was episode 1. I will zoom out so you can see the whole page. There we go. Catch you in episode 2. It's been Luke Halford. Episode 1 of Create Your Own Character through Gawler Youth.